Hadguy's eyes widened as he stepped onto the university campus for the first time. The towering buildings and bustling students seemed to hum with energy, and he couldn't wait to dive in. He had worked hard to get here, and he was determined to make the most of it. As he made his way to his dorm, he was greeted by his roommate, Casey. Casey was a senior with a charming smile and an air of confidence that Hadguy admired. "Yo, what's up, man?" Casey said, extending a hand. "Welcome to the uni. I'm Casey, your roommate." Hadguy shook Casey's hand, feeling a bit awestruck. "I'm Hadguy, nice to meet you." Casey showed Hadguy around the dorm, introducing him to their neighbors and friends. Hadguy was amazed by how friendly everyone was, and he quickly felt at ease. But as the days went by, Hadguy began to notice that Casey had a different side. He would often come back to the dorm late at night, reeking of alcohol and cigarettes. He would tell Hadguy stories of his wild nights, of the parties he had attended, and the girls he had hooked up with. At first, Hadguy was hesitant to join in. He had always been a bookworm, content to spend his evenings studying and reading. But Casey's story sparked something in him, a desire to experience a world beyond his textbooks. One night, Casey convinced Hadguy to join him at a party. Hadguy was hesitant at first, but Casey assured him that it would be fun. The party was everything Hadguy had imagined and more. The party was loud, the lights were flashing, and the girls were beautiful. Hadguy felt like he was on top of the world, like nothing could ever bring him down. But as the night wore on, Hadguy began to feel a creepy sense of unease. He had never been much of a drinker, and the alcohol was starting to take its toll. He stumbled and staggered, barely able to keep his eyes open. Casey laughed and teased him, telling him to lighten up and have fun. But Hadguy couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. As the semester wore on, Hadguy found himself partying more and more. He would often skip class, preferring to sleep in and recover from the night before. He stopped reading his book, stopped studying, and stopped caring. His grades began to slip, and his parents started to worry. They would call him asking him what was wrong, but Hadguy just brushed them off. "I'm fine, Mom and Dad," he would say. "I just need to focus on my studies." But he wasn't focusing on his studies. He was focusing on the next party, the next girl, the next high. It wasn't until he met Precious that things started to change. Precious was a beautiful girl with long, curly hair and a bright, sunny smile. She was determined to make a difference in the world. Hadguy met her at the party, but for once he wasn't drunk. He was sober, and he was struck by Precious's intelligence and passion. They talked for hours, discussing everything from politics to music to their dreams and aspirations. Hadguy felt he had found a kindred spirit, someone who understood him and shares his values. As the night wore on, Hadguy found himself feeling drawn to Precious in a way that he had never with anyone before. He wasn't just attracted to her physically, he was attracted to her mind, her spirit, and her heart. Over the next few weeks, Hadguy and Precious grew closer and closer. They would study together, go on walks together, and just talk for hours. Hadguy found himself feeling happier, more fulfilled, and more at peace. He started to see the world in a different light, to realize that there was more to life than just partying and having fun. With Precious's help, Hadguy started to turn his life around. He began to focus on his studies, to attend classes regularly, and to read and learn new things. He also started to distance himself from Casey and the party scene. He realized that he didn't need to be around people who were holding him back, who were encouraging him to be someone he wasn't. As the semester came to a close, Hadguy felt like a new man. He had found a new sense of purpose, a new direction in life. He had found Precious, and he had found himself. He knew that he had a long way to go. He still had challenges to face and obstacles to overcome, But he was ready, he was determined, and he was excited for the future.